So we're in DC. So we're in DC. DC. So I brought my children here for the Black History Month. And we went to the White House. Where else we went? To the Capitol, where a young man prayed for us. And we went to the Black History Museum. And I just feel like all parents have the obligation to train and teach their children the right way to grow up, right? Health, wealth, love, happiness, right? So I feel like all parents have the obligation. You know, if we care about our children's well-being, our children's wealth, our children's health, their love, happiness, relationships, we shouldn't be buying them Jordans and PlayStations and clothes and weaves, you know, every time you turn around, or, you know, Chick-fil-A every day after school, right? And throwing them, you know, big birthday parties for their birthday. We should be planting seeds into our children, right? Because if the children is our legacy, then we got to plant the seeds for our legacy to continue now, right? We can't wait to decide that we're gonna tell them things, or we're gonna show them things when they're 40 or they're 30 years old. Like my children, well, my niece and my daughter, they're 12 years old. So at 12 years old, when you learn about who you are, and 12 years old is a critical age, right? Because you're trying to figure out who you are, you're trying to figure out who your friends are, you're trying to figure out what you want to do. So we can train our children now to do better, to have better, to find better people, to hang around better people. Then our children will actually grow up with some morals and values, right? Our children will grow up with some morals and values. And me being an entrepreneur, you know, I understand that if it's gonna be, it's up to me, right? I understand that if it's up to me, if it's gonna be, it's up to me. I can't expect my children to learn about Black history from the white school system. I can't. I just can't, right? I can't expect that, right? So for all you parents that expect your children to learn Black history or about themselves and self-worth and relationships and money at school, that's wrong. Okay? It is wrong, 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 wrong. We as adults got to handle our business. We as adults got to handle our business. And handling our business is making sure our kids is good mentally, physically, financially, emotionally. So I'm doing my part, right? I'm doing my part to help my kids. And once I empower my children can now turn around and empower themselves. See, my mom never took me to places like this so I could learn. I never even traveled outside of the country with my mother, right? So I have to be the one to break the generational curse. I can't keep saying, oh, because my mother didn't do it, I'm not going to do it either. I can't say, oh, because my mother, you know, she didn't have the resources, so I'm not going to have the resources either. It don't work like that. It truly, truly, truly does not work like that, right? So if we want to be better, friends, we have to do better. If we want to be better, friends, we have to do better. And it's just that simple, right? in 2022, if you hate your job, leave your job. If you hate your spouse, or you hate your life, or you hate the people in it, change the people that's in your life, right? Because we don't really have time, guys, to be living in turmoil. We don't got time to be living with excuses. We don't got time to be living on a prayer and a hope and a wish like our ancestors did, right? We're not slaves anymore where we're waiting for someone to give us our meal, right? We could go out here and we can go to the restaurant, we could go to the supermarket and buy our own meals. So we can no longer wait for somebody to feed us. We got to start feeding ourselves, man. We can no longer wait for someone to feed us. We have to feed ourselves. And how do we feed ourselves? By feeding ourselves and then training our children to also feed themselves. And when I say feed, I mean literally feed. Find your own food. Find your own money. Get to your own bag. Get your own house. Get your own apartment. Get your own car. Right? That's what I'm teaching my kids too, right? My niece and my 2 daughters. You know, being a woman, an independent woman, you gotta have your own money. Being an independent woman, you gotta have your own goals. Being an independent woman, you gotta have your own dreams. Being an independent woman, you gotta have your own thoughts. You can't be waiting on a man to come save you. You can't wait for the rich husband to come save you. You can't wait for a man who's making 6 figures to come save you. No. We got to save our goddamn selves. We have to save our goddamn selves. And if we don't save ourselves, we cannot save our children. And if we don't have a plan for our children, the system has a plan for our black children. So hopefully you guys wake up and really realize that life is what we actually make of it, not what happens to us. Life is what we make of it. It's beautiful out here. Life is what we make of it. Life is what we make of it. Life is not what happens to us. It's what we actually make of life. It is not what happens to us. It's what we make of life. So if you hate your life, change it. You hate your job, leave it. You hate, your spouse, or you hate the person you with, they not making you happy, leave them. I mean, there's no, it's like there's nothing else that you can do. It's let's have a long story about it. No. You don't like your job, leave your fucking job. You don't like where you live, leave where you live. You don't like the car you driving, change the fucking car. You don't like the money you making, change the fucking money you making. I mean, I don't know what the fuck to say. Like, you don't like it, change it. Don't say I don't like it and keep complaining about the motherfucker. I don't like my husband. Oh, he this, he that. Complain about the motherfucker all day, but you still with him. So don't fucking complain if you're gonna still be with him. Right? Oh, I don't like my job this, my job that, my job. I hate this shit. Well, leave the motherfucker. Oh, I hate my sister, I hate my cousin. They always hating on me and this, that, and the third. Okay, well, leave them bitches the fuck alone. How much more agony can we take? How much more agony do you want to take in your life? We have enough aggravation and agony going on right now in the world with just the world stressors. And you're going to add more agony to yourself? Don't make no sense. Life is to truly be lived, friends. Life is truly to be lived. Life is truly to be lived. And if you don't live now, when do you live? And if you don't live happy now, when do you start living happy? Too many people are in turmoil. Too many people are upset. Too many people don't have no direction. Too many people feel like they hopeless. Too many people are depressed. Don't let you be the one who depressed too. Don't let you be the one who's in agony too. Don't be the one broke too. There's too many broke people in the world already. There's too many people in poverty right now. You don't need to add to the poverty line. So if it's gonna be, friends, it gotta be up to you. If it's gonna be, friends, it has to be up to you. If it's gonna be, friends, it has to be up to you and nobody else. But you gotta make moves right away. You gotta make moves right away. You gotta make moves right away. Prayer without works is dead. If all you do is pray and keep asking God, and you've been praying the same prayer for 20 years, asking God for the same nothing, the same junk, and you still in the same spot, change your prayer. Tell God, thank you for what I'm about to do. Thank you, God, for my new house. Thank you, God, for my new car. Thank you, God, for my new money. Right? Thank you, God, for expanding my territory. Thank you, God, for putting people in my life that's going to help me for real. Thank you, God. That's how you really pray. That's how you really pray. I'm on New York Avenue. That's ironic. I'm from New York on New York Avenue. But the time is now, friends. Text mentor to 702-208-2527. I am doing a Women Who Invest Challenge. If you have never invested in yourself, now's the time. If you never got into crypto, now's the time. If you never got your credit together, your credit right, now is the time. If you never invested any money into the stock market outside of your 401k, now is the time. See you guys in the next video.